One more question. Who's that one classroom couple that forgets everyone else exists the second they sit together? Okay, so there were these two people in my class, and I'm telling you, they were basically married. Not officially, obviously, but the way they acted? Bro, you'd think they had been together for 40 years. Every morning, the guy would walk into class, and the first thing he'd do was look for her. Didn't matter if the teacher was already teaching, didn't matter if we had a test, didn't matter if the principal was standing at the door. He had one mission: find his girl. And somehow, she always saved the seat beside her for him. One day, I got to class early and accidentally sat in his usual seat. Bro, you should have seen his face. He walked into the classroom, looked at me, looked at the chair, then looked at her. She just shrugged. This man walked over and said, "Bro, that's my seat." I said, "Since when?" He goes, "Since forever." I said, "Then you should have gotten here earlier." He just stood there, looking betrayed, like I had broken up his relationship. Eventually, I moved, and the second he sat down next to her, they started whispering. For the next 20 minutes, whispering, laughing, passing little notes. Meanwhile, the teacher is at the front trying to explain something important. Then suddenly, the teacher stops, looks at them, and says, "Would you two like to share with the entire class?" The whole classroom went silent. They both immediately sat up straight. "No, sir." Teacher. "Good." 5 minutes later, they're whispering again. At this point, everybody in class started teasing them. Whenever one of them walked into the classroom, somebody would yell, "Your partner is here," and they'd both start pretending they didn't care. "We're just friends." Bro, nobody believes you. Then one day, something happened that made the entire class lose it. We had a group assignment. The teacher told everyone to pick a partner before anybody could even move. These two looked at each other. "You and me?" "Obviously." Bro, they didn't even discuss it. They had already decided, so the teacher gave everyone the assignment and told us we present it the following week. The next day, I asked the guy, "Bro, have you guys started the assignment?" He looked at me confidently and said, "Yeah, we've got everything under control." I said, "What's your topic?" He froze, she froze. They looked at each other, then he said, "We're still deciding." Bro, you spent the whole day sitting together and didn't do the assignment? Presentation day finally came. Every group was ready. Then their names were called. They walked to the front together. The teacher said, "Okay, you may begin." The guy looked at her. She looked at him. Then they both looked at the projector. Nothing. The entire classroom was silent. Then she whispered, "Did you bring the presentation?" He whispered back, "I thought you brought it." The whole class exploded. Even the teacher had to turn around because he was trying not to laugh. After class, everyone was roasting them. And somehow, the next morning, they were sitting together again like nothing happened. At this point, I realized something. These two weren't just classroom lovebirds, they were classroom survivors. Now tell me, who's that classroom couple that acts like the whole class disappears whenever they're together? And if you have a funny school story, drop your story in the comment section. You might see your story in the next one